Chapter 3, Lesson 2, Extra Examples. Use the graph of the function f to answer parts a through n. Find f of 0 and find f of negative 6. That would be if x is 0, what would my function equal? So I'm going to look on my graph. Where is x 0? Well, x is 0 right here. So f of 0 would equal 3. That point would then be 0, 3. Next one, where is f of negative 6? I'm going to look for where it's negative 6 right here. So f of negative 6 is negative 3. F of negative 6 equals negative 3. That point would be negative 6, negative 3. F of 6 and f of 11, following where f of 6, so that would be right here, f of 6 would equal 0, and f of 11 would equal 1. Is f of 3 positive or negative? So I'm going to look where x is 3. Okay, that would be somewhere in here. That would be positive. F of negative 4 would be somewhere in here on the graph. Therefore, that would be negative. For what values of x is f of x equal to 0? We're looking at where the answer would be 0. So I have 3 here. I see negative 3, 0, 6, 0, and 10, 0. Therefore, for what values is f of x 0? They would be negative 3, 6, and 10. For what values of x is f of x greater than 0? So we're talking about all these points that are greater than 0, and we only need to list the x values. So I'm greater than 0, hopefully you would agree, all the way here. I'm greater than 0. Okay, so I'm going from negative 3, x needs to be greater than negative 3, and x needs to be less than 6. And the other place that the graph is above 0 would be right here, which would be x must be greater than 10 and x must be greater than or equal to 11. D, what is the domain? We are going, these are our x values, we're going from negative 6 to 11. So I have negative 6 to 11. The other option would be x such that x is less than or equal to 6. Nope, that's got to be greater than or equal to 6. Greater than or equal to 6. And x is going to need to be less than or equal to 11. The reason that would be true is because all of your x values are between negative 6 and 11. Okay, that's what you're talking about, your domain. Your range, now we're talking about those y values, your range. So I would say my highest y value is 4, my lowest y value, negative 3. Okay, and if I'm thinking about it, all of my y's are either less than 4 or greater than negative 3. So my range is going to be range. Oop, off to the side where you can't see. my range is going to be, remember, that -3, my values need to be, my y values need to be greater than or equal to -3 or less than or equal to 4. Okay? X-intercepts, that's where it crosses the X. So here, here, and here. Y-intercepts, that would be here. How often does the line cross y equals half? So we draw a line here, right? 1, 2, 3. So how often does the line intersect that? It would be 3. How about 5? So I draw a line at 5, or x equals 5. So that would be going this way. I would do it once. For what values of x does f of x equal 3? So I'm looking for where do I have y values at 3? That would be both here and here. So what x values? That would be at 0 and 4. For what value of x does f of x equal -2? So I'm looking for where my y values are -2. That would be both here and here. So -5 and 8.